Good news, everyone. This is Phototech coming directly to you through the power of the internet via the YouTube video sharing platform. Today, I am going to, as the title card says, I'm going to review Phantom of the Opera. This is a spoilers-free version of this review. There will be no video of the movie playing. This is a spoilers-free version. I'm going to do a spoilers version later on. I just have to double check, keep my schedule notes here. This movie was from due to conflicting sources. This movie is stated to be from 1924. However, on some sources it's 1925. This movie is 107 minutes long, which is, according to this, is an hour and 46 minutes and 32 seconds. Get the basic information out of the way right off the bat. You can purchase this. You can find this video, this movie, here on YouTube, potentially for free, and you can also buy it in you can also get it in 50 Horror Classics package, star of the show, or in the Killer Creature feature from Mill Creek. This one is actually the better version of the two. This one, they seem to patchworked it together from other clips, and there was like one segment where it was partially colorized in post, which is kind of weird because they only use like pink. So there are colorized versions out there. You can also buy it as a standalone DVD up on Amazon or eBay. It shouldn't be terribly expensive. Probably the cheapest route and the best route is buy it. Well, the cheapest route other than free would be in the 50-pack Mill Creek. It's on the first disc. This is actually loaded with a lot of good movies on it, by the way, which I will all get to. All those movies I have like 1,000 of these things. But anyways, I'm gonna jump right into the review right here, right now. And I'll start off with, I already gave you the basic information. I have a note board right there that says intro, basic information, audio, sound, camera work, effects, acting, story, and final thoughts. It's just to keep me on track so I'm not missing one and then circling around and just into an endless loop. But the first thing I will tell you about is, first and foremost, this is from the 1920s, which is from, the silent eras, from the very late 1980s all the way up to 1930. You can actually get some silent films after 1930, but audio came very popular around then. By the way, audio, is doable because, you got music playing in the movie, but the issue was recording actors talking. I'll explain it in another video later, and I think I have already. But for this movie, the music is very good, very well chosen overall. But there is a lot of the generic music that they used back then and to play over a lot of scenes. However, I will just say that the choices of music are actually quite well. On to the next part. This movie has a lot of sets, and the camera work is done very well. It's very well lighted. Everything is shown off quite well, so there's seriously no big issues with that. There's nothing that really stands out that is terrible. Now onto the effects. There is actually a lot of really cool effects, practical effects, water movement, a heat effect, all kinds of cool little stuff done throughout the movie that by modern day standards is not that amazing, but considering the technology they had back then, it does it very convincingly. So this is actually another good movie. By the way, this is another movie with Lon Chaney Sr. as the star. He is an exceedingly good actor. They pile him in tons of makeup in a lot of movies because he's the man of 1,000 faces. So he's always really good at being highly expressive, even buried under tons and tons of makeup and prosthetics. And I kind of like skipped over. I jumped from FX to acting right off the bat without even checking my notes. As for acting, besides just Lon Chaney Sr., by the way, Lon Chaney Sr. and Lon Chaney Jr., they're amazing horror movie actors. There's anything they are in, they do like amazing. Okay, seriously. As for the other actors, the A actors are actually quite well the main star actors, and the B characters, the A characters, the main stars, very good. The B characters also very good. The C characters are like really exaggerated. It's like so they're clearly clearly overplaying their part, but the only note as far as watching the movie is the C actors and the C characters only are prominent in the first 20 some minutes of the movie. The first 20 minutes of the movie, it is pretty much the C actors. You don't see any of the A actors, and not even the B character, not the A characters and the B characters. You pretty much see nothing but C characters for about the first 20 minutes. So you get a lot of the characters that are really over the top in their acting. So it's like, okay, yeah, it's you're running away from someone, but you do twirl. A twirl. A twirl. It's just like, okay, you're a ballerina, but you don't have to randomly in a conversation when you're talking with someone do a twirl. Okay, I realize they're really just light on their feet, but they're like off the stage socializing, and they just, oh, I'm gonna run this way, I'm gonna twirl. Twirl. I'm just being goofy for the shit because I'm just goofy that way. But seriously, the C actors are comical as fuck when you just watch them because they're just like way over the C actors / C characters are like way over the top. The A characters and B characters are serious, and they're very good characters. They very good actors. They fit the mood, and they're in a scary thriller mystery kind of situation. But the C characters are like most of the film are like a little fruity. You only really see them towards the beginning. There's a long period through the middle where you don't see any of the C characters or hardly any of them, other than little walkthroughs here and there where the main characters move past them. But at the end, you get some more C characters with their exaggerated, we're gonna acting. Okay, so this is actually a very good movie. I do say, as I jumped to the story part, but the story. This is a no spoiler movie, so seriously, I don't want to tell you too much about the story, but. As I said, the first 20 minutes of the movie, 25-ish minutes of the movie, it's C characters. Then you move into the A characters and the B characters more. And there's a setup and intrigue in the characters. And you kind of also see a shift in the emotional state of one of the main characters. In the first little bit, you run into the character, and then you see that one reaction where they're going one direction and then they switch to the other side, and it's actually quite convincing. This is a movie that's most definitely worth I most definitely am gonna do a spoilers version of this review, and maybe I'm gonna do an over analyzed version of this movie, which I might have to take into multiple 40-minute multiple part 40-minute videos to go into the overanalyzed version of this movie, because there's a lot of really interesting things that happen in this movie, and there's a few other movies that have really interesting character developments that happen in them, that it really is very interesting from a feminism perspective, but also is very interesting from a MGTOW perspective, or a red pill philosophy. So I might literally do a feminist version review, and then I'm gonna like do a MGTOW version, explaining it from like some feminist angles and how that looks, and then explaining it from the direction of MGTOW and red pill movement. This is one of those movies where that's like ripe for that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm actually like, I watched this a dozen times. I like thinking about it. There's some really interesting stuff in here, or I could red pill the shit out of it like crazy. But red pill and feminist, blue pill the shit out of it, and then red pill the shit out of it. Okay, uh, but it's more red pill conversation. I could go into the blue/pink pill end of it, but I'll do that another time. So thank you very much for watching my video. Here is into the final thoughts. Please consider throwing comments into the comment section below, asking me questions, whether you want me to do other videos, cover more video game stuff, or go into TV shows more. I'm going to go into some movie serials in the next month. Maybe after next month. I'm trying to work on my fine details of my plans here, but I know I'm going into some movie serials. I'm going to throw in some the late 1930s movie serials. A movie serial is where they have like a single short setup movie, about 30 minutes or so, and then after that there'll be like several other movie serials after a short 20-minute or 20 or a 15 or a 30-minute movie they will make later on or release later on that tells the next part of the story. It's kind of like TV show before TV. By the way, in the 1930s, in the 1920s and 1930s, the base technology for TVs was being developed and being showcased in the 1930s. TV didn't come into a serious into houses until the 1940s. So in the 1930s, they're kind of like, not this movie right here, but in the 1930s, the movie theaters started doing more movie serials. 1920s, 1940s, 1920s, 30s, 40s. They started doing more movie serials, and that is kind of like them priming or developing TV before there was TV. Okay, so I'm gonna go into some movie serials. I'm gonna go into movie TV, actual early TV shows. I'm gonna get into earlier movies. I'm gonna bounce around a whole bunch of stuff right there. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, this is a good movie yet again. Okay, I keep saying that. It's like, do you ever come across bad movies? I don't. You know what? I can usually find something good in a movie or a video game. I don't really. There's occasion where I'll come across something, and it's like, that is like really dumb. It's understanding the rest of the movie is there's a lot of really cool stuff. And by the way, the overanalyzed version of this movie and other movies, I will overanalyze with spoilers version of the reviews. I could go through and I'll point out like goofy little decisions, but honestly, sometimes in a movie you're trying to entertain the audience, and so long as you don't break the logic of the universe in which the movie is operating from, you're good, okay? Uh, Sometimes you will get some logic breaks where stuff happens in a movie or in a franchise of movies, and like a third or fourth or episode 8, where stuff happens that breaks, as I said, breaks the logic of previous movies in that franchise, and you're like, okay, why? And okay, that explanation is stupid, and okay, bye. So when it comes to a standalone movie, something like standalone movies, it's easier to work it out. When you get into like multi-part movies, is you run into the risk of budging shit up, particularly when you hire directors and writers that seem to know nothing about the franchise. But yet again, this is another good movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please, as I said before, leave comments. Ask me questions in the section below. I read all the comments. If you want me to review anything particular, I have, say, the next 4 months planned out, and the next following year, all pretty much framed out, base idea. So I have like 1,000 reviews who's coming. I just have to get to it, okay? But I will cover next month. I will review some video games, some old video games, some new video games, and some somewhat older video games, as well as potentially start into my movie serial series, my first one, and then slide into TV shows. Uh, Thank you very much. If you like this video or like what I'm doing, please like it, or if you dislike it, please dislike it. If you want me to do something else, tell me to do something else. Thank you very much, Rich, for stopping by, and so long, and thank you for all the fish.